All right, we're live. Thank you for joining us again for another Sunday afternoon robot fighting stream. I am, as always, Bograt or Josh.
I'm Shiv.
And I am former tank commander the Krampus, here to reclaim my lost glory.
So, after last stream, we actually went out in the game, went to the DLC missions, and found that we are actually capable at this point of doing the money grind DLC mission, which is nice because, as you may notice, we now have like 320,000 capital. We did technically lose the bishop doing it, but we were able to buy one and still end up with like 320,000 capital. And also, as part of that mission, we got a Harrow. This thing is a pile of junk.
Has an eye field, but yeah.
Has an eye field, that's about the only thing going for it. So it does have a really powerful melee attack with the Harrow Drill Punch. Problem is that it's not very accurate and takes literally like 2/3 of its energy to use, so it can do it exactly once and then have to go refill its energy. And just in general is not great. We captured this one, we captured like 3 others as well. We realistically should have sold it because it's worth another like 40,000 capital, but we wanted to be able to show you exactly why it is that we're not actually upgrading the Phoenix Gundam Power Unleashed any further than we are, because this is what it turns into at like level 10 or 6 or something, and it's just not fucking worth it.
Neither the Harrow pilot nor the Harrow suit in this game are good enough to field.
Yeah, and then also, as part of that mission, we fought the Psycho Harrow, so we have the stats for it as well. It is an upgrade to the regular Harrow, in that it, like, more than doubles all the stats, has a ton more HP, has a bunch more energy, but is still not really worth it, because you have to get a regular Harrow to level 20 to get the Psycho Harrow, and honestly, for all the effort that takes to do, you could get, like, 3 Deep Strikers by that point.
It is very anti-beam, though.
Yeah, it completely fucking ignores beam attacks, basically, which is part of what made it a pain in the ass to actually fight in the mission. Until we realized that the Alice system on the Deep Striker is not, in fact, a beam attack, despite it literally being the Deep Striker just opening up with all of its beam weapons.
Well, you know.
At which point we fucking punked the thing. But yeah, so that's the thing that happened. That also got us a couple more levels on some stuff. So now we can go into MS Igloo, since we did finish the main 0079 story last time. MS Igloo is a series. Now, I should say MS Igloo 1, because there's 2 different MS Igloos. This one is just MS Igloo 1. Is basically entirely about a secret weapons development team for Zeon during the 1-year war, and why everything they ever did was an incredibly dumb idea, except for the one thing that worked, but was basically a desperation move anyway, so who fucking cares?
.603rd Technical Evaluation Unit.
So, as we get to each of these ones, we will talk a little bit about what they were supposed to do, and why they were a dumb idea in implementation. So one of the interesting things about the character portraits you see in this one is the actual MS Igloo series was done in like 3D CG, even for like the characters. And they essentially took those 3D CG character designs and made more traditional anime art style, like portraits and stuff, literally for this game. These portraits don't really exist outside of this. But that's also kind of why they look a little weird compared to a lot of the other UC stuff, because they are still trying to keep a lot of that like sort of 3D CG shading and art style, while converting them into more traditional animation style. Built a giant cannon for some reason.
This is a giant cannon.
Because I've watched way too many Super Robot shows, and because I've never actually seen Igloo in its original form, I always thought this was some kind of, like, undulating space dragon gun.
No,
For some
it's
reason.
literally just a stick.
Yep. Now, the dragon thing would have made it cooler. Still useless, but cooler.
So, let's talk about the Jormungand. As was stated here, the purpose of the Jormungand was to be able to fire at Federation warships and, like, ongoing battles from well outside their their range to return fire. This was technically achieved.
It does technically do that.
It is certainly possible for this thing to fire from, frankly, insane distances.
Once.
Yes, once, as will come up here, because it basically burns itself out for firing. The other problem being, from a purely practical standpoint, if you are firing a weapon at somebody from 10 feet away, and you're off an aim by, like, 2 degrees, not that big a deal.
Fine.
You're still likely to hit them. If you are firing from several hundred miles away, and you are off by a single degree, you are going to miss them by an insanely wide distance.
You didn't make your shot very wide.
And when you are considering that this thing is intended to basically snipe into ongoing battles from distance, and no amount of technology is going to be able to accurately predict combat movement of, like, a warship.
Well, the clear answer would be to have a second large ship that just has an eye field to bounce the beam. And that you aim at that, and that adjusts as it needs to redirect the beam to your target in a much shorter range.
So yeah, there are some issues with the Jormungand. In case you were wondering, the Jormungand is a unit we could technically get and field.
We technically already have access to it.
We actually, yeah, we do already have access to it, because it's one of the rewards for having a certain number of units in your production list. You can then purchase the Jormungand. We won't do this, because as much as we're fun-havers, it's not even fun to use.
No.
No, it's not even worth the... Like,
It's fucking terrible.
They put it at once, fire, then put it back on a ship, because there's not the energy to fire more than once.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's also, I think, either a large or an extra large unit. So again, it takes the place of
Pretty sure it takes
multiple
2
other
slots.
units. And is not even really worth 1 mobile suit, let alone 2.
The flattening and drawn version of Alexandra Hemi looks fucking
Hemi is fucking terrifying.
terrifying.
That's Shipwreck Delgado, thank you very much.
Yeah, like, some of the designs work better than others. Like, Proc-Now looks fine.
That's fine.
Oliver May looks fine. Hemi looks like somebody bleached Mr. T. It won't.
Well, you see, Alexandro, every dumb super weapon that we're going to test also needs somebody who's way past their prime and has outdated ideas about battle in the Universal Century to relive a glory moment in their lives.
No, not all of them are about outdated ideas. Some of them are just bad workmanship.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Can't it be both?
No, because the guy that pilots that one is actually a hotshot test pilot and probably would have been a real asset to Zeon if he hadn't died horribly when his suit shook apart.
Yeah. Besides the issues at high speed, the Zuda was a perfectly fine suit. In fact, for a very short period of time, we were using a unit in a Zuda, and it did fine.
Yep.
I don't remember if we had a regular Zuda or a Zuda F.
Wait a regular.
Okay. Because the Zuda F is actually a perfectly fine suit. It just basically got made like a week before the 1-year war ended. So the other thing that happens is throughout 0079, the campaign there, a lot of the extra, little special event flags here were kind of pretty straightforward and were things you would just sort of do in the normal course of going through the mission anyways, even if it didn't tell you that there was a special reward for it. Once you get out of that 0079 campaign, a lot of them start having slightly more bizarre or more incredibly specific circumstances that have to happen. So, this one is still decently normal. It's just a time limit to destroy the Salamis.
These are both battleships, so it's really just a matter of continually firing.
Pretty much.
You take 2 battleships and just slam them together and go pew 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 pew.
It's like, make sure you can fire on them every single turn. Make sure you counter every time they fire.
Yeah.
Where you hit them doesn't matter since you're ships, so you can't do weak point hits anyways.
Yeah, you can't do pinpoint attacks. No, you need to move the Musai out of the way.
Also, hit chance major screwed on these ones.
Yep, sometimes. That being the case, go ahead and save before we end this turn. Since we haven't actually missed a shot yet. Yeah, we're going to save scum the hell out of this, basically, because, again, basically if you miss a single shot, you can't do the special objective.
Yeah. I think we disperse.
Yeah. Just to try and help the Musai survive a couple hits.
Well, there's one, if I remember correctly, where dispersing is basically something you would normally do, but doing it leaves you without enough energy to actually do the mission in time.
I don't think it's this one, Yeah, for this one, I think the concern is actually more keeping the Musai up long enough for it to actually deal enough damage to help get things.
So 7K?
Yeah. So it needs a swing from both, basically, to go down.
There's the supporters of the
Yep. Yep, that'll do it. So that's one Salamis down, and that's challenge completed. You only actually have to take out one of the two
Yep.
in order to get it, because the other one will run off.
I can't have this ship in danger for the literal job it's here for. Testing a big stupid gun.
God, this thing is the dumbest piece of shit.
It's also an XXL, so it takes up 3 slots if it's not one of your command slots.
Yep. It is so goddamn worthless.
Mini Cadillac.
Ah, wonderful. The subtitle for this entire thing, Cadillac and Dinosaurs. Old fossils we've dug up specifically for...
It's a big gun. You aim it and you fire.
Let me explain this thing from a technical standpoint and fail to see the really obvious problem with it.
Fusion plasma beam.
Norman gun?
Yep.
Yep.
Approximate range of 300 kilometers.
Like, I could see it as being the... If I recall properly, timeline-wise, was the Orin God designed before or after the solar ray? Because if it's a pre-solar ray design, I could totally see why it was like them fucking with the concept of making a big
I believe it was before Solar Ray.
Okay. This probably explains why the Orin God is such shit. Is it
Well,
needed time?
probably A before, and B, they probably weren't thinking of weaponizing colonies into cannons all the time, every chance they could,
Well,
but...
it's true. The Orin gun is basically them building a giant gun from the ground up and not just converting a colony cylinder into a cannon.
No, but I mean, realistically, even without the the concept and the design of the solar ray, they still had fucking math. They would still be like, oh, the energy required for this thing far exceeds the tolerances of the parts we built it out of. This is probably going to basically burn itself out after firing once. It's not that fucking difficult to see.
It's an engineering nightmare.
Electrical engineering exists. We know how power works.
Also, you people look much more human when you're not horrible CGI abominations.
Okay, so
Bye, colony.
This is before the 1 year old.
This is literally
This is the
Operation
colony
British.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, again, Igloo is not one I'm all that overtly familiar
Well,
with.
it's because Igloo takes place across a lot of the 1 year war.
But yes. What happened to all that? We gassed them. We're war criminals.
No, it's fine. These are noble, good-hearted Zeons who don't really engage in the war crimes
No,
aspect.
noble good-hearted Zeons who have just been shown the war criminally ways of their entire side, just zooming past.
Yes, but they're aware that it's evil and it's a war
It's a
crime.
war
They'll have
crime.
no part of this, but they're still going to be part of Zeon.
What was the previous week that you were involved in? Oh, week, sorry, month even. The first month of the war. Good God.
Well,
They're a
so-
technical squadron. They're not involved in that.
Yeah. They're testing a giant stupid cannon that took
It's just you're
like
shocked by
months
the
and months
colony.
to build.
But anyone who was remotely keyed into what was going on would know that they just spent a week slaughtering millions of people.
Yeah, they aren't.
They were busy picking up a giant, stupid fucking cannon.
Yep.
They're busy developing a big stupid cannon.
So they can fire at something during the Battle of Loam. Then it can explode.
Look, man, we were busy, playing with Tinker Toys and trying to build a giant plasma cannon, while the other teams were learning new and interesting ways to gas people. Principles of gas dispersion inside a colony cylinder. One of them succeeded in their experiments.
Get our big stupid gun ready.
Oh dear.
Make sure you tell us where to actually fire this damn thing. We can't see the enemy.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other thing to remember. This is a weapon designed to fire from a maximum range of 300 kilometers in a setting wherein, like, radar doesn't work. Like... Like, they are literally relying on being relayed communication from a ship in the battle that they're aiming at. Which, by the way, has to be, like, point-to-point laser communication, because there's also no radio communication because of Minovsky particle dispersion.
God damn Minovsky particles!
I mean, point-to-point laser communication is fine. They don't care about your big stupid gun. Two sortie spots on this one. Yeah.
So we sortie into the battle that's ongoing.
What's incompatible on this one?
He's in the Atzan.
That's right. You don't have Lunatic anymore.
Nope.
Oops.
We should be able to change it from within this menu. Back out and unsorting the ship. Standby. Select it and do standby. And then select a circle view commands.
No, we can't do it at this point. Once we're in, we're in.
I swear there's a way to switch it out. Maybe select sortie group.
Organization.
Yeah, there we go.
There we are.
I knew there was a way to do it from within the map. Form groups. Haro it is! Or we could do the Zucrello is going to be space capable. We don't care about anything off the Zucrello, really, but... Hover truck, it's not space capable. Check the rest of them to make sure they're all space capable. Pretty sure they are, but...
They all definitely are. They're all Zaku's and Ogos. And
check real quick, because I think one of the Zaku's might be the ground high mobility type. Yeah.
That's true.
Toss him in like the Zucrello or something. And then first team, I think, should definitely all be
first team's
space
fine. There
capable.
wasn't anything on first team for it.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright.
Start stage.
Destroy the Magellan. It takes water to the target area.
Yeah, so this is, again, a two map mission, wherein we only get to deploy on one of the two maps. Also, oh no, we have to destroy the Magellan. How will we ever manage? Oh yeah, so as you may have picked up on, also as part of doing that money grinding mission, we were able to get a Zanzibar, which is a much better ship than the carry base we were using. It has a second hangar slot, so we were able to actually put a second team on there. And also we got a few levels on some units, so we were able to do some upgrades and stuff. Yeah, no, the observation craft is terrible.
Basically, it moves 3 times.
Yep. Alright, so let's send some dudes out.
Hi everyone, I exist. I'm not going to attack.
Why not?
Because I'm worried about destroying. I'm not going to attack with the Deep Striker.
Why not?
Don't want them to send their shit out first.
It's fucking saberfishes.
That's what matter. Because we have 3 turns to play around anyways, it takes that long for Spotter to get there.
I guess. So this was one of the upgrades we got. This is the heavy armed full armor 7th Gundam. This is what we went to from the Chobham Armor Alex.
Actually, more importantly, since we don't need the money from them, if we get them other things, we can kill for ace points in XP.
Fair enough. Yeah, because we definitely don't need to worry about money anymore. We can just off-stream do the money mission as much as we want.
Yeah.
So here's the Haro.
Give it the horror bits.
Really, the only notable thing about the Haro is that all of its attacks look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fires,
Oh, no, they explode.
it fires Haro cluster bombs that explode into exploding Haros.
Here's the regular 7th Gundam. All the missiles.
This is a Krello.
The Krello is one of the doofiest looking suits in this
Pretty
entire
fucking
game.
goofy.
I love it.
The best.
Of course it misses. Piloted by Ivan Ivanov.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
The suit is fine. The pilot is terrible. I think he's hit double digits on his stats. Finally. We just still need a level on the Oggo. So
We need
several
Several
levels.
of
Like
them,
4
yeah.
levels on the Oggo, so.
pretty much everything we have available right now needs levels of some sort. Like, Phoenix doesn't need levels.
No. Clearly we need to get 20 levels on the Haro.
No. If we really want that, I think we can actually side grade out of, like, the Psycho Gundam later on into
Yes.
the Psycho Haro. But still, why? Don't want you doing XP. Team, use other Gundams as shields.
It's like the Thunderbolt Gundam, but it just has two other Gundams on its little shield arms.
Got some missile bots.
I mean, in fairness, we don't actually really need levels on the heavy armed, full armor Gundam 7th either. This is a developmental dead end point.
Goddamn missiles. Stop it. Send out your Garbo.
Have to attack it.
Fair enough. Where? There. We have a Jigen.
Yep, we do have a Jigan. This one we developed out of...
I'm pretty sure the Lodo turned it.
Yes, that was right. The Lodo upgraded into the Jigan.
Yep.
Then obviously we can upgrade the Jigan into several different Jigan variants.
Stick also trying to.
Well, that's a downgrade into the Gym 3. Then there's a side grade. I believe one of those is the Jigan F.
And then I think the Jesta.
Yeah, I believe the upgrade is the Jesta. I'm frankly too lazy to pull up the spreadsheet right this second and check. We've got a Dryzen, which came out of the Dom line. We've got the Drossi sleeves version, which was from the regular Drossi. Do have our Bishop.
We have the Bishop, the precursor to the Psychozaka.
Yep, it was quite literally a test unit for the
Psychometer systems.
yeah, the wire guided version.
Goddamn beam hands. Draxi.
Which realistically only has downgrades.
Dang.
Yeah, Tri-Blade on the weak point.
It's the Tri-Blade, which has range 4 specifically.
Yes, exactly 4 range. Yes, the Tristan, which just hurls tomahawks.
Gets the job done.
Presumably something in the upgrade path of the Dryzen is the sleeves Dryzen.
I'm almost certain that the sleeve Dryzen is part of its upgrade path.
Again, it's basically the same unit with better stats.
And a green-black color scheme.
I don't know if the sleeves Dryzen is green-black.
This is the sleeves Dryzen.
Probably.
Go, Jim. Because we talked about it.
Yep.
Yes. So this is the only like actually decently good attack on the Hara unit, and again, it takes like literally 2/3 of the damn thing's energy to do this once.
Captain's last words were quoted as being, "Oh, come the fuck on." Boom.
You're close enough to no. Back in for now. Could capture these, but we're gonna kill them for XP and pilot points.
Yep.
Yeah. Now that we have access to the money grinding mission,
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, like, we are not going to turn saberfishes into anything we care about, so we would only be getting them to sell them. And they're not going to sell for enough to matter, because we can completely safely do the money grind mission by not triggering the special objective, and that'll get us a decent chunk. Or we can trigger the special objective, which will get us more, and still be decently safe.
I'm also fairly certain that the saberfishes are already one of the things that you start with in your production list.
No, we have to unlock saberfishes, but
We already have, so we do have the ability to make them.
Go, Ivan. You can do it.
he can do it. I'm not denying that. Where is... There she is. Go poke it. Send out your goodies.
It's a Gundam equivalent of like shaking someone's shoulder gently and going, "Hey, hey."
Good back on the bus. I'll redeploy your next turn. Too.
Everybody get back on the bus.
Is that her field? The Dryson? No, that's just her. She's team up.
Yeah.
I did do the movement on the other side.
Yeah, that was the first thing we did.
Yeah. Foreign active units.
Go back. Check.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And one of the important things is we can do him first this time, but if we do, it finishes the base objective and not the also destroy Magellan objective.
Yep. Yeah, so we need to actually destroy the Magellan first. And then move him.
Yep. Just quote, how they get you.
A fish. A fish. A fishy.
Ooh. Overkill.
Yeah, extremely.
Take it to 24.
If you move it up one further, it can at least heat saber
Yep.
and get support shot in from Quechua.
Earn some XP on this gym.
Yep.
Yep. Assuming it doesn't miss.
Alright, who wants XP?
The Dragon, the
Yes.
Bishop, the Dryzen. I don't think the Bishop
Can't
can
make
get
that.
close enough. Send out Ivan and the Zucrello. That's a joke.
You can do it. Blood.
Nope.
Okay. There. Operation, someone hit this damn thing already.
Operation Keep Firing, assholes.
Historic moment.
Turns out giant cannons are dumb.
It turns out rather than using giant cannons, we'll just use mobile suits.
Yeah. We won't miss you. You were kind of an ass, and your cannon's stupid.
We end the era of big cannons with a bang.
Hate to tell you, Hemi, the era of big cannons ended like 1,000 years ago. Yep, Type K balls. These are something we actually want to capture, at least one of these.
Yes. These are the ones that have the machine guns on them.
The old Shiro
These can
Amada
turn
special.
to the regular ball, and I'm pretty sure this is the Tiger Shark ball.
Yeah.
So
I believe
Tiger
it's
Shark ball
like
is-
a couple steps through to get to the shark ball, but
What's that on the far?
something.
the ball type K, yeah, so that is the turn into ball, shark ball, Ogo, and then the gym early type.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see why they're doing that. Because the Jim Early type literally appears in the same fight that K type's in.
Yep.
It's the only time we ever see a Jim Early type.
Alright, let's go take out that center ball K.
I was gonna say, dare I say, someday we must advance ball technology to the point of getting a Jim Juggler, if that's in this game.
I don't believe they have the juggler in this game.
That's a shame. I mean, there are probably a few G-Gen originals like that that aren't in this game. As very representative of UC and UCMSV in general, this game is. It seems a little light on G-Gen originals.
Eh?
A little bit.
I mean, it has...
And we got the GPOO, obviously. We got...
Well, let's see. The actual G-Gen original stuff it has. It's all the way down here at the bottom.
Sweet.
Some balls.
I mean, for actual stuff specifically from the G-Gen series, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It has 18 units.
Okay, well, fairly decent number then.
And then it has a bunch of other of the weird, like, game-only stuff.
But no, no Jim Jugglers, technically.
Someday, but not today.
No, but it has stuff like the fucking Big Zam mass production. And, like, the Great Zeong.
Does it have the Gigantic?
No.
Oh, sorry. No Gigantic.
No.
Which, if I recall properly, the Gigantic was a pretty neat-looking weird suit, but it was basically Xeon's attempt to recreate the GPO-2 based on data they had when they briefly had it. It's basically what it is. It's just a, let's build a giant, like a giant, beefy, mono-eye mobile suit with an atomic bazooka.
Yeah, so the weird stuff it has from actual games. So it has the Saikoro Gundam, which is from Scramble Wars.
Of course.
It has Tornado Gundam, which is actually technically from SD Gundam GX. But at this point may as well be considered a G-Gen unit. It has the Gundam Mark II Prototype Unit 0 from Gihren's Greed, as well as the Gerbera Tetra Custom. It has the Jim Guard Custom from Bonds of the Battlefield. It has the Zanny, the Big Row Mare, and the Psycho Gundam Mark III.
Okay, the Mark. Right. The weird contribution from that Gundam fighting game on the PS1.
Yep. And then as far as the actual G-Gen stuff, it has Phoenix Gundam Power Unleashed, Phoenix Zero, Phoenix Zero 1, the NTX, the Big Zam Mass Production, the Great Zeong, the Gaplant Custom, the Siskudai, the Gundam Mark IV, the Titania, the Gyan Custom, the Nuezel 2, the Haro, the Psycho Haro, the Halphus Gundam, the Halphus Bose Halberd, and the Master Phoenix.
Okay, so it actually has a fair handful of ones.
Yep.
Like, the Big Z mass production type and stuff like the Noya Zeal 2 and all that is a little hard for, like, those are definitely pretty obscure.
Yep.
So it's got a bit of a mix. It is just not 100% comprehensive.
Alright, everyone. We ready to see the age of big cannons got with a bang? I mean, its power is at least impressive.
Yes. Now, if only it had anything else worthwhile about it.
The weird thing about it, it's like a charged solid projectile weapon.
Kind of.
Since it fires
It
a lump of
loads
fusion
shells.
plasma.
So, it is technically a fusion plasma particle beam?
Which is very different from your usual mega particle guns in Gundam, that's for sure.
The actual shells it's loading, I believe, are actually like the plasma containers, is my understanding.
I mean, I can't imagine what else it could be.
The other thing, the evaluation reports at the
Yeah.
end of everything, which are always super depressing.
Yes, so every mission of this is literally a like wrap-up that Oliver gives, and it's just like, the weapon was stupid, it didn't work, everyone died.
Was devastating.
Mostly a shrug, actually.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to see that face a lot on him.
It's in many cases like this actually performed well in the role we went intended for, kind of. Except it was given its own support. So let's throw it in the garbage and move on.
Well, considering the fact that again, the absurd not having radar, that indirect targeting data is essential for it to be effective, period.
Yeah.
This is Gundam for you.
And like, oops, the ship that was going to be sending you the data got blown the fuck up. Not much we can do about that.
It's true. God. Fighting any long-range space battle in Gundam is just like a shitty game of telephone.
Yeah, basically the biggest thing, I mean, the Jormungandr, the biggest failure, I mean, aside from the fact that it can basically really only kind of fire once,
Which is
and had to take forever to recharge.
Which theoretically could be resolved with better manufacturing. And
Yeah, like, that was
materials.
an issue. You know, that's an issue. The, issue about, even 1 degree of inaccuracy in aim is going to be a massive difference at the, far end of the shot. And, again, because it requires indirect targeting data, that's another point of failure you have now introduced into the system.
Which is, again, one of those problems where they probably could have made it better, but, less than a year later, they've got new types solving the indirect problem by having new type weapons that just mentally detect enemies from far away, and the solar ray gun, which really doesn't need to be aimed so much as pointed in a general direction and wipe out a fleet.
Okay, yes, now that we've...
Now, on the topic of failures...
Yeah.
Put the AdSense back in.
We need to switch the Ogo out, because that's space only.
The
Grillo is also space only, yeah. Hover truck.
I mean,
It's Ivanov who gives a shit.
pretty much. He specializes in helicopters.
Trucks.
This hover truck can eventually become literally nothing new for us.
Nope.
He can go back into a helicopter. It's like, he's just going to do a loop of development where he continually goes
Put him in a
into,
tank to eventually get a gun
Gun
cannon
tank.
or gun tank early type.
Yes, I believe that is a gun cannon. It's either gun cannon early type or gun cannon prototype. Could go to the Saberfish to get the core fighter to get Ryu Jose.
We go back to space so I can throw him in the ball. Which will likewise never hit.
Oh yeah, make sure to go and claim one of the bulkheads.
Oh, right. Yeah, wait a second. Did you have anything? Yeah.
Yes. No, we actually chose the high mobility ground type for a reason. Like, yeah, the Drossi is space only. Deep Striker is also space only, I believe.
I'm going to be fair
So we get
here.
an Nazi craft.
You're not going to be an Adzam. You're going
Yeah,
to be
you're
your
going
Hidalfer.
right, yeah, the Dolpher.
I'll take the dumb Adzam.
Yeah, the Drossi needs to swap out.
They have 2 Adzams?
No.
One Adzam.
We
I
put you
I
back
put
in the Hidalfer.
Oh, right, yeah.
But you weren't in because
Because we're in a
next
ground,
space.
ground mission.
For this mission especially, good.
Before this gone.
Yeah, so we can have 2 Hidalfers on the field and double our disappointment.
The Hidalfer actually does work,
Disappoint-
realistically, compared to most everything
Yeah, there's
around
something
here.
disappointing about the Hidalfer.
Plenty disappointing about the Dolpher.
Got a Zaku machine gun, which is not any worse than any other Zaku weapon. Has a numerous long range weapon, long range options. The piercing attack hits people with a shovel.
Scoop.
Everyone is in appropriate stuff now because you're.
That is space only, actually. I was pretty sure that was space only. What else do we have? Go up towards the top. Do we have the Halphas? I think we should. It's one of the DLC ones, so it's going to be... Yeah, there it is.
Yes, we do have the Halphas.
Yeah, just throw me in the Halphas, because there's actually a development line off of that thing.
Is there? I mean, there's those, but
But yes, in all seriousness, I actually want to take the Halphas into the Psychohara, because the Psychohara can get us some other stuff off the split. I'll also just show off the Halphas because it's stupid. Honestly, like, pick somebody. They're going to be in for, like, a mission because we're going back into space. I'll be back in the full armor, heavy armed 7th. Do like fucking Ranelagh or Florence.
you've been deployed before, so why not?
He's a commander.
Details.
He's not really a pilot.
Details.
Just put Ranlu in.
Yeah. Give him, yeah, Zaku 1 or something. Zaku 2 high mobility will be fine.
Deployed the Hidalfer mission.
Yeah, because importantly, if we get the Psycho Haro, we can get that to like 8 or 10 to actually get some other stuff that we don't have yet. Because 8 will get us the Quinn Mantha and 10 will get us Psychoro Gundam. And it is much easier to get the Halphas to 10 than it is to get the fucking Haro to 20.
Guys, we have these tanks sitting around.
Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to lift the cannon off the tank, put a testicle on top of it, and then put the cannon on top of that. For reasons.
Glue some wheels to it. So look, back before you see There was this thing
I
called a
would like,
Segway.
I would like it noted that it's called the prototype mobile tank YMT-05 Hidalfer, as opposed to all those non-mobile tanks.
Yes, the immobile tanks.
Pretty sure those are called turrets.
Pretty just because the mobile suits are called mobile suits.
Yes.
The mobile tank, but...
We ran out of ideas.
Turns out it takes a lot of resources to continue a war.
Well, especially when you are a space-based organization and you are warring mostly on Earth, and therefore you have to constantly be landing shit.
Yep.
Yes, you're expendable. Congratulations, you figured it out.
Yep.
Your unit exists as, well, we're pretty sure this is a bad fucking idea, but we're going to try it anyways. If it succeeds, hey, great, we succeeded. We get bonuses. If it fails, we're just like, oh yeah, that's because that unit's a fuck-up. What did you expect?
The Messier Son.
I'm a new character showing up for this particular segment to die in this.
Yeah, don't get attached to anybody in Igloo.
Any new character who shows up in Igloo in an episode is there to die in the gimmick of that particular episode.
Can you tell me what actual advantage this thing has over the Magella?
It's not made of tissue paper?
I'm not talking about in-game with the stats. I'm talking about actually in-universe, where it is basically a Zaku bolted to a Magella with a big cannon put on top. It is a slightly upgraded Zaku tank.
It's a much upgraded Zaku tank. This game doesn't have Zaku tank artillery types. Now, if you want to make the argument of what does it give you over a Zaku tank artillery type, not much.
Nothing.
But Zaku tank artillery type is not in this game. We get Hidalfers. Dropping into Arizona. Isn't it amazing? Look at my big dick-shaped gun on this tank.
This will prove that the Hidalfer should have been deployed 2 years ago. No, it won't.
You're in command? A woman can't be in command. Just like they can't run a fantasy government. Basically, he used to be a well-respected tank commander, then people stopped using tanks, and he
Exactly.
Couldn't get with the times. But now they have a tank again. My god.
Something expert. Couldn't
Something,
get the
something, gonna die in this tank.
Yeah. Couldn't get the something. Became obsolete is kind of the whole thing of... With one notable exception. Well, most notably. I think that notable exception is the next mission.
Federation troops installed in Zaku's. The parachute didn't deploy.
Nothing of value was lost.
Just immediately spikes in the ground and explodes. Still a lot of Zaku's.
Yep.
Yep.
And by shutting this door for crew, I mean we have these other two systems for deploying. Someone needs to fight Federico within 4 turns.
Important to note, Sun doesn't need to beat Federico.
Nope,
He just needs to
have
attack
fight
him. Center Zaku there's Federico.
He's in the Zaku commander type.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things with the game. If you put certain characters in certain units, they get a sort of pseudo upgrade. Essentially, that is a Zaku 2 commander type because the leader of that unit is an Eizaku 2. It's like in the same way that if we had a raw Zaku 2 and we put Team Mom in a Zaku 2, it would become a Zaku 2 commander type. There we go.
We might as well show it. There you go.
Still counts.
Woo! Historic moment. Some historic moments are very easy.
Wow. It's almost like just strapping mobile suit bits onto a tank doesn't actually make a unit that's more effective than a fucking mobile suit. Hi, assault gun tanks. These things fucking rule, on the other hand.
It's got a flamethrower.
They are gloriously dumb. Yeah, it's disabled. Like, it's out of the fight because that is the historic moment. Oh, look, the Hidalfer got fucking owned.
I'm disappointed in you, Bright.
Huh?
I'm disappointed in you, Bright. Behold.
God. Oh, the ad Sam.
Just a lunatic you put big legs on.
Alright. So what if we fielded a purple onion frog? Oh, you gotta do the Adzam leader.
I will. I'm just going to move further in first.
Stupid ass attack.
Because it is a map attack, which is also
Yeah.
not good.
No.
Like, it does affect an area, but... Lightning cage!
Oh no! Oh boy. Some dumb stuff in Gundam, yo.
There's in fact some dumbass shit in Gundam.
Most of them are mobile armors. Because, like, mobile suit design, they generally stuck mostly to a design philosophy of, like, you know, vaguely humanoid, you know, arms, usually legs, a head of some sort. Mobile armors are, hey, what if we turn a clam sideways and put chicken legs on it?
Covered in guns.
Hey, what if we had a testicle that dangled sensor equipment below it as it flew around?
At no point someone said, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Look, man, mobile armor design was very clearly the wild fucking west of Zeon. Like, if you were a mobile suit designer, people were like, nah, dude, you gotta make it humanoid. Like, it's gotta be able to, like, hold rifles and shit. If you were designing a mobile armor, they were like, yeah, sure, I don't see why it can't have, like, 3 asses. Makes sense to me.
You gotta get your hover truck out here.
That's right.
I'm sorry, this thing only has range 2, I forgot.
So notably, I believe we have covered this before. The hover truck is not a unit you field because it's actually good at fighting. It's a unit you field because it actually gives a boost to stuff in a radius around it.
Yeah, the hover truck has search function. So units within 3 get plus 10 accuracy. So basically, it's an accuracy boost.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly useful because it shows up in 8th MS team, which has the ground types that have the smoothbore cannons.
Yes, which are not terribly accurate.
So disappointed in you, Blood.
He's in a fucking 2FZ. It's not a great unit. Like, you're literally telling him to swing at things with a foam sword and then being upset he didn't disembowel them. Like, the fuck do you expect?
I am upset. Beating on it.
Yes. Do keep in mind, the bishop is technically ground capable. It's not going to move very well down here.
I mean, it was designed for ground use, though.
Kind of.
Like the entire
It
first,
just wasn't designed to be very mobile in ground use.
like the entire first half of, actually, the majority of Missing Link is on the ground.
Yeah. It's not actually all that well designed, though. There's a reason they made the Saikamu Zaku.
I love the shield missiles. Just from like design standpoint.
Yeah.
Give them the Beyblades. Six? Well, probably actually just do high for.
Yeah, high mobility Saikamu Zaku. The other thing that the bishop goes into. Let's see. Yeah, that's the Brabro. We don't give a shit. It's another stupid mobile armor. Help us! Fucking posing.
Saying you wouldn't pose. Food funnels.
Yep, there we go.
How dare you? Shoot my giant purple boy. This giant purple garbage truck alive.
Honk honk.
Here, you miss. Let me shoot you. Let me shoot you some more. Let me shoot you some more.
Then he exploded.
Good job, Mark.
That was stupid. Yes, throw down the counter because it'll disable the other guys, basically. Productive turn, unknown forces.
Moving on.
That's fucked up.
Oh. Beam. Fire Mega Piranha Cannon. What big dumb boy. Hidolfer. I'm here to protect you. Has range or something.
Go to attack. Don't know. Hold on, go back to the attack menu real quick. Okay, no, that one maxes out at 3. I was thinking that maybe the bigger locked one did, but no, I don't know. I think,
it's cause
yeah, you can use the map
that
attack
one.
for movement regardless, so...
Level up.
Age of Tanks is over. Meanwhile, on B team down there, Coronado's just doing donuts in the Dolphin.
Whee! Oh, the Age of Tanks has just begun. Down.
Yep, good.
Suck. You can't even hit a stationary tank.
Ugh, this ain't good.
does this garbage pile even need for anything? Oh, I know what that thing is. That's in custom. It's still crap.
You're not wrong. It is slightly better statted crap.
I will protect this Hidalvar. I will run out of energy. What's that? One's off you there?
Yep.
You didn't do anything. You ran up, you fired one shot that missed, and then,
I love the special sprite they make for that. Because the dogs are on the ground. When you die, you're put under the ground.
oh, it's a dog. If it dies, it goes to heaven.
Except for Lassie, she knows what she did.
They actually threw Timmy down the well.
It didn't do that well.
Failed to hit. You didn't count. You didn't kill enemies. You killed.
Enemy.
No, he killed two. 'Cause he does kill a guy right at the start.
Yeah.
So you killed two enemies in this entire thing, both of which were scripted kills.
Yes.
And then some crazy madman goes, what if we put a Minovsky craft on the Hidalvar? And everyone just shakes their head and goes, you fool. That fool is me.
What if we made an even bigger tank?
What if we made a rhinoceros and then pushed it into space out in airlock?
What if we only chose to include the worst of the two rhinoceroses in this game?
It's true. We only have the
Type
cannon
A,
artillery.
yeah.
We don't have Type B.
Boy, we can recruit Timothy son.
And put them in our rosters.
Like I said, in my playthrough, like, one of the columns on B Team was just the losers, which was all of the failed, washed-up has-beens from...
And dismantle the others.
I'm not going to grab two balls, just we can also get the early type games.
Yeah. Your call.
Alright. Yep.
No, but once we get one of those to the shark type, there is actually some stuff we do there.
The illusion that lingers above the orbit.
Yeah. Still only 3:45 if we wanted to keep pushing through.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
This
take
one's
too.
going quick.
This one shouldn't take too long. Yeah, yeah. The Igloo missions are pretty short, just
Yep.
because again, Igloo was a sequence of essentially short episodes. Get Renalo out of there and put me back in the.
Well, I throw you on that. Where's the full armor set?
Yeah, you need to get Renalo out first.
Putting in a ball.
Thumbs up.
We need to get the high mobility ground type swapped out with something worthwhile as well. Then back in his Krello.
Also getting a ball.
I think that was all the ones we had to switch.
Yeah, everything else is space capable. The illusion that lingers above the orbit.
So now we get to talk about the Zuda.
Yeah, this is the exception I was talking about. This is the one that breaks pattern.
Yeah, so there are actual multiple companies that design mobile suits for the Xeon side of things. Unlike the Federation, which basically has the single company of Anaheim Electronics, which does all of their mobile suit development, Xeon has two competing corporations, Zeonic and Zamad. Now, at the very beginning, yeah, so Zeonic, Zamad, other private companies. The other companies don't really matter that much. They don't really produce anything of note. Zeonic and Zamad are the ones responsible for producing the majority of mobile suits that show up in Gundam. So the thing about it is there was basically always going to be a competition about which was going to be the mainline suit for Zeon. So obviously, initially the Zeonic, as it says here, YMS-05 Zaku 1 was adopted, but after a while, the Zaku 1 was starting to show its age. And so, you know, of course, why don't we try and work on some other suits to develop? Why don't we try and, like, make some better shit? And of course, you know, Zeonic had the Zaku 1 and was working on developing the Zaku 2. Meanwhile, Zamad decided they were going to make the Zuda. The Zuda is in all ways a better suit than the Zaku 2. It is, by pure specs, completely better than the Zaku 2 in every single way. Unfortunately, the Zuda is not actually capable of handling its own top speed. If you put the Zuda at top speed for too long, and by too long I mean literally like 2.5 minutes, it literally shakes itself apart. It essentially self-destructs by going too fast. And rather than, like, I don't know, do a rational thing and put some sort of limiter on its acceleration so that it doesn't do this, they just decided that to, fuck it, let's go for it.
Yep.
We see nothing wrong here, we'll just tell the pilots not to go top speed. That'll work.
test flight.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that there was the EMS-04 Zuda, and it had the issue where it would fall apart during the test flight. And then they were like, oh, no, we've totally upgraded it. It's the EMS-10 Zuda. It's very different now. In actuality, it's completely not different. They literally made no actual improvements to the part about the Zuda shaking itself apart.
Yes, here's a picture from the Gundam first picking up that,
Yeah.
Gene and, other guy's name I can't remember, Chuck.
Denim.
Denim, yes.
Yes, Denim Gene.
Yep. I knew it was something dumb, I just couldn't remember what was on top of my head.
Wasn't, like, another person involved in that whole operation named Skinny, so we got Skinny Denim Jeans or something out of it?
No, it's, it is a trio, but I'm trying...
There was some kind of dumb pun about their names, beyond just denim and...
So it is Slender, Denim, and Gene.
No, they don't.
And here's this handsome man, Jean-Luc Duval.
Yeah, so this guy is actually basically an ace pilot for all intents and purposes. I mean, he's not like an official ace, and that he didn't. He's a test pilot, so he never actually got the the number of kills to be considered an actual military ace. But he is a really well qualified pilot.
Also, he's a very handsome man.
Who unfortunately is full of shit because he doesn't understand that no, the EMS-10 Zuda is no different than the EMS-4 Zuda. Like, by all accounts, from a purely numbers basis, if the Zuda did not have the issue of rattling itself to pieces when you turned on the fucking thrusters, it would have been a very different one-year war if the Zuda was the mainline unit rather than Zaku 2.
If I remember correctly, isn't it that the Zuda doesn't rattle itself apart, it explodes if it goes too fast?
Well, no, it shakes itself apart, which causes it to explode when the shielding comes off the fucking reactor.
Ah, okay.
As the word shake apart and explode. Are you doing something with the Zuda?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
Oh yes, the Saturn engine, the weird-ass, extremely powerful thrust tech that can never be replicated because it never fucking works.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the EMS-10 Zuda.
Okay.
They solved the problem of the EMS-4 Zuda, where it shook itself apart. That'll never happen again.
Point of contention, it works in that it pushes things forward very fast.
Those things just may not stay in one part.
This episode is going to go so fast they fall apart and explode.
Well, I mean, the issue too is the engine itself does explode. It's not just the shaking apart thing.
Yes, but it's like it is literally the engine explodes because it shakes itself apart, which removes the actual protection on the engine, and then it just.
Someone was so goddamn dedicated to the Zuda that there is actually a version of it that works.
Oh no, the Zuda F is fine.
The problem is, it took, Zeta-era technology to achieve that, and by the time you've got, you've got a really fast mobile suit with one-year war-era tech, it's kind of good, but not guaranteed to last you all that long in terms of the tech longevity.
Yeah, no, legitimately, the Zuda F is perfectly fine, other than just being very outdated.
I mean, the problem is, it would be akin to us having, a Vietnam-era jet that exploded but was insanely fast, and using modern technology, we can kind of...
We can keep it from exploding, but it's still a Vietnam-era jet, all the other technology hasn't been updated. All the technological development has been put in place to keep the bolts from flying out of it when you put the thrusters on.
But we're still using Zudas? This thing has failed how many times? Someone was really dedicated to making it work, though.
The Zuda broke apart by tirelessly deading it, isn't it?
I'm sorry, guys. I realize there's a lot of Zuda fanboys in the fandom, but I can tell you this much: it's a shit suit.
It is. The thing that baffles me about it is they make such a big deal about it, and it's like Zmod made other actually good suits.
I think the problem was the Zuda in particular. They were like this is. There was somebody on the dev team who was just like, "This is my baby. You have to make it work."
The Zuda was Zamod's Pirates of the Pancreas.
Basically,
It's just legitimately like
Got a lot of pushback on Zuda.
like Zmod, like they make the Dom line, they make they make fucking Gogs. Like
it just so
Zmod
happens-
makes plenty of actually functional good suits.
It's just
for
But
some
you
reason
blow
they
up
make this.
one mobile suit goat.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I mean,
like,
to be fair, the Zuda
Here's
is
the
insanely
important
high.
question.
yes. Yeah, hold on. What actually is different between the EMS 04 and this EMS 10? Well, the answer is 6.
Six.
Yeah.
Shut up! We're not talking about this.
Yeah, the difference is 6.
I mean, it's got slightly different external armor, but that's really more to hide the fact that
Yes, that it's literally the same suit.
Yeah, they're like, the boosting and braking are exactly the same. This is the same suit, just glued a new number onto
Look,
it.
this is totally unrealistic. Since when has a military contractor tried to pawn off shoddy work like this?
Just the post-it note over the 6? 10?
The 4, it's just you just wrote 10 in Sharpie.
You know, the brass are kind of laughing at you and calling this the MS-35 project. But yes, if I recall properly, what fixed it was parts from the Gyan. So they took parts from another fail suit that didn't get picked up for production.
Yes,
and made it work.
another Zamod made suit.
Yes. Just the fact that it's the Gyan, I'm like, the Zuda and the Gyan, a marriage made in heaven that somehow worked. They produced a baby that can function.
Look, I'll give it this much. Even though the Gyan didn't get picked up for production line,
no.
it was a very effective suit, unlike the Zuda.
The problem with the Gyan is that it was insanely specific role-wise.
Yes.
It was like, if you are Makuve and no one else, you'll love how this suit fights.
Hey, there's also the Gyan Eos, which is fine.
If you're a fancy ceremonial royal guard type person, you'll also like it then.
Yeah.
To be fair, Gihren's Greed did produce a bunch of very nice functional Gyan variants. It's just that's alternate history. So
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Here's where we talk about it, the propaganda campaign. Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, the little I know this is they brought it out literally because they needed a trump card.
Yeah, they needed to say like, oh, you know,
Look at the new super weapon.
The Project V, the Federation has developed its mobile suit, but it's okay. Zeon has the EMS 10 Zuda.
I mean, it's the equivalent.
It's faster and better and stronger than the Zaku.
It's the equivalent of the Nazis bragging about their jet-powered planes that totally never actually, went into full production.
Yeah.
Or anything fancy like that. It's just, we need something that looks cool to prove that we're superior.
I mean, in fairness, the interesting thing, as I pointed out, was that actual specs-wise, the Zuda is outright better than the Zaku 2. It just has the unfortunate thing that it literally falls apart and explodes.
In fact, it's better than many late Year 1, Year War suits. That's the problem, though, is that it can't run for...
Yeah.
It can... In publicity shoots, it'll run long enough to...
Yeah, it is legit. It is literally, if they could have made it not shake itself to pieces and then explode, it would have been like the 1 Year War would have gone very differently.
Yes, the Federation would have had to probably make... I mean, I'm sure the Gundam could fight them. The Federation's earliest mobile suits...
Which version?
Which one?
Yeah, which Gundam? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the original Gundam would do fine against the Zuda. It doesn't have beam weapons.
Yeah.
It just would have been, like, zipping circles around the Gundam, but not really being able to hurt it much.
I mean, it honestly kind of very much depends upon what point Amuro encountered the Zuda. If it was early enough on, before his new type abilities had really developed, he may not have been able to actually hit the damn thing.
True, and we'll also put it this way, like, the Federation's actual mass production, the gym would have probably been torn to shreds.
Oh, the gym would have been obliterated.
But, it so turns out that, like, Zeon did not, in fact, have a functional wonder weapon, because no one ever has a functional
Tiger
wonder
balls.
weapon.
Yep, shark balls.
I love the Tiger Shark team. Making balls look cool. That's one good thing about Igloo, is that occasionally they will let, like, random, like, junk suits, like, look badass. They give balls an entire team battle dynamic.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, 8th MS team is after the Igloo stuff, so we don't have Shiromata yet to put in a ball on our team.
Well, Shiromata also got a weird, like, plot armor mulligan where more like Ina's horrible aim could not tear him up with that fucking machine gun.
Yeah.
Like, Azaku should absolutely punch through a ball and kill it, but her scattershot aiming and his weird juking around prevented him from dying instantly.
Well, because he was also doing like a fucking like lasso move.
Pulling an at Battle of Hoth thing, yeah.
It's like,
Release
this
it,
is
okay.
not the shit anyone expects to happen.
Deploy the Zuda. What?
Sure, yeah. That will be me! Have fun, guys.
It's fine, the white base is here.
Does T-Gen try to model the Zuda's tendency to explode?
No.
The special
mission, the special trigger in this mission specifically does reflect it, but no, there's not anything in it where like if you move like max distance.
I was gonna say, is it
blows
possible
up
to
or
play
anything.
the scenario and not have them explode?
No.
No, they cutscene explode at the
Of
end.
course they do.
Yeah. Now, when you have the Zuda, it doesn't have the weakness.
It sounds like defend. Can you defend them for 3 turns? It's only your actual objective.
Yep.
We'll ever be able to defend them against balls.
So yes, as I am coming in late, how are our custom characters doing?
So we can show you. So we've got the Deep Striker now that
Of
El
course.
Cajon is throwing it. Rancho Chipotle has moved down from leader just because we had an actual gun that has leader skills.
Nice.
But he's flying around in the heavy arm, full armor Gundam 7th as long as we're in space.
Excellent. Ah, we have a Zanzibar as well.
Yes, we got a Zanzibar as our second ship because it's actually a space and ground capable ship that has 2 hangars.
Nice.
So it's a much better thing than the carry base. That's one of the ones you unlock for completing the original 0079 campaign.
Also era appropriate.
So right now,
better.
Coronado is in one of our Type K balls just because
Space.
we
Nice.
want to develop the Type K ball up a little bit.
And I see we got San Diego into a actual gym.
Yeah, they're currently in a Gym 2 Fetty.
Nice.
Because that was, we got from the Zanny into that, and then we're probably
How have the gyms been working? I know they're not great suits, but is he doing okay?
They're fine. I mean, look at what else he's on a fucking team with.
Yeah.
True.
I got 2 ball type Ks, there's Zaku 2
I think
the Zakrello.
I think the end goal with that character I could see is to get him into the best possible gym we can. So that's gonna limit his options for super powerful suits.
I mean, if we're talking gyms, they have like powered gyms, the like Gym Striker, the Gym 3 is in here.
like I said, he can pilot any gym is the only restriction I have. So if we can get him to a really powerful one, sure.
I mean, if you're saying specifically gyms, then yeah, there's limits there. But like, there's also Jagons and Jestas in this as well. So
It's me, all right. I'm the gym fan, and you know I've been collecting models. I consider anything with an RGM model number to be a gym.
yeah. So I mean, we got options in that regard.
I'm disappointed in you.
It's regular Jimboree.
And the Jagan and the Jesta absolutely are gyms. They are RGM
Yeah.
dash whatever. They're not literally called gyms, but they're gyms.
They are gyms of their era, essentially.
Yeah, they've got the same model lineage.
Yeah, we do technically have a Jagan over on the other team that we're working towards turning into a Jesta, but
Also, I'm the weirdo that considers the gun easy a gym, even though its model number is LM something way too long.
yeah.
It's a gym.
Gym 2 Aug.
Ooh, Gym 2A. That's a different color model.
It has different stat lines in this because
Okay, because they wanted to.
yeah.
What's that first one? Just a gym.
That's just the gym one.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, red shoulders. We got a striker, looks like, for that
I think
one.
that's Striker.
Or is that the semi-striker?
Well, let's see.
'Cause I gotta guess
Well, Blaster.
yeah, I mean, it could be a striker, but this thing's got a weird-ass tech tree. The semi-striker is just a modded gym, too, with stronger parts, but I don't know if they differentiate in this game. Either is great. I love that frickin', like, stupid double beam spear sight thing.
It depends which version of weapon they give it, because they don't always have the dual scythe thing. Well, there's the scythe version.
Yeah.
And then there's the regular spear version. Which
That's
is straight
stupid.
up.
It's supposed to be able to
So that is
flip
the
from
Gym
one to
2
other.
Semi-Striker, and then the last one is the Gym 3.
Gotcha. The Gym 3. I adore the Gym 3, and damn you, Bandai, give it a fucking, master grade one of these days. Semi-Striker's also cool. Not as cool looking as the original Striker, but hey, it gets the crazy beam spear.
Does get the crazy beam.
The RX-81 I see you're looking at there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, because the G-lines are in here, at least some of them.
Yes, the G-lines are.
I will give wiggle room and allow the G-line to be pilotable by him.
Yeah, because it is technically an RX, but it's a fucking gym.
It's basically like an alternate, an alternate gym successor.
Yeah.
One that was never picked up for actual major production, but I'll allow it. So yes, if you get a G-line and it happens to be a good suit, I'll allow him to pilot that too.
They're pretty solid in this, actually.
I mean, it's nice to have something too with multiple, obviously it would be upgraded to a totally different unit in this game, but the G-line was a pretty cool idea. It's a shame the Federation never picked it up. It'd be allowing them basically to, instead of having a million different gyms, let's outfit the same one with different mission packs.
Yeah, and it actually reflects in this one, because basically what you have is there is the G-line standard armor, and then you can essentially use, before you go into missions.
Oh, seriously?
In the actual menu, you can basically swap it into either the light armor or the assault armor.
Oh shit, that makes it even
can
better.
swap when you go back to
The ship as well, yeah.
That's even better.
Yes, you can actually, send it out on a mission in, standard, and then, I need something heavier. Send it back to the ship, switch it to the assault, and redeploy it.
Okay, well, aside from his usual gym, then I'd say try to develop a G-line and try it out.
Yeah, they're not hard to get to. We can probably get to one pretty quickly, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think of what else is in here that can fall into that as well.
For the gym...
I mean, there's a ton of gyms in this. I'll put that right out here.
Oh, yeah, we'll find... We'll see what strikes our fancy. The Gym 3, do they have both the Gym 3 and the Novell Gym 3?
Maybe.
As if they do have the Novell Gym 3, I'd say go for that, because I think that's a better Gym 3 than the Gym 3.
Yes, they do have the Novell Gym 3.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, maybe try the Novell Gym 3. I guess we can get the Gym 3 from this one. Maybe the Novell will be an upgrade for it. It's basically the Gym 3, but better.
Gym 3, Gym 3, Gym 3, Gym 3.
I don't know.
Yes, the Gym 3, the regular Gym 3 goes into either the Novell or the Jagan.
Nice. Yeah, get the Novell.
Yeah, we can get there.
Yes, Gym 3, Gym 3, Gym 3. God damn it. Now you know I love for gyms.
Now you know. Knowing's half the battle.
There's also the Gym 3 ground type, technically.
Seriously?
Uh-huh.
I don't know that one.
That is... I think it's one of the random-ass ones that shows up in one of the big battle scenes in Unicorn.
Okay, it's gotta be a Unicorn.
It's somewhere in the fucking back. It is from Unicorn.
Okay.
But it's just it's one of those ones, it's somewhere off in the background.
I'm almost certain that that's just a color variant. There is no way that there's a model variant there.
Yes, this one, as far as the Jagans, amusingly, so there's a lot of Jagans. Because there is the Jagan, the base one, there's the Type D, there's the Echoist Jagan.
Oh.
There is the Type A2 GR, there's the High Mobility, there's the Prototype Stark Jagan, and the Stark Jagan.
I'm just saying, if we keep them on theme for the different scenarios you're playing through, the Stark is definitely a must-get.
Yeah.
Just, the Stark Jagan, who entered the heart of every Gundam, and every Gundam fan, largely due to the first, 5 minutes of Unicorn. Where it ripped shit up and then got a very sad, untimely death because it was fighting a main character.
So it goes.
This is how it goes.
And then, when we eventually get into the Hathaway's Flash stuff, we're going to put you in King Chonk.
Oh, King Chonk is I'm not going to lie, King Chonk is probably my favorite gym type.
Yeah.
Even if it's a filthy FDO whatever, even though that's, literally the only suit of that particular model anyway.
Yeah.
It's a gym.
Yeah, we're going to load you into the Gustav Karl.
King Chonk, King Chonk.
Hefty. So, as an aside, because we were using her and I remembered that she has this trait, Nellie Olson's actually one of my favorite original pilots, because Nellie Olson gets an ability where as long as she's at
full
100%
health,
she gets 20% extra attack and deals 10% more damage.
Yep.
So you put her into a sniping suit of any kind or anything with long range, she is very good at what she does.
And she also has better combat. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. Well, we can't all
But
be perfect.
nobody's perfect.
Just looking at those sea of drifting HLVs below you.
Yep.
Isn't she out of energy? Oh, no, she's got energy.
Team Mom's not.
It was a range thing, sorry, that she got.
It's like, this is, you know, again, due to the fact that it's kind of a somewhat semi-animated background, but not much else, it's like, this isn't so much a re-entry as, oh no, I spilled my pumpkin seeds everywhere.
The sunflower seeds! Those are the barbecue ones, I like those!
Guess what? Just put a screensaver on the background.
This is the Universal Century version of the After Dark screensaver.
Yeah. It's flying toasters, but Gundam.
Just a bunch of HLVs just sort of drifting.
Oh. This is a reasonable, measured response to anything in his face.
I'm sorry, the giant Magellan beam cannon looked kind of goofy in SD proportions.
A bit.
It's also, yes, this is a valid response against a ball. It's a fucking deep striker.
Look, we're being fair. About 90% of our team is unfair to put against the balls.
It's true. It's just funny when you're going through story scenarios and everyone should be pissing themselves over one of these weird, like, mecha from the future and other dimensions.
What is the white base doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
hey,
our side.
yeah. What does the white base do here? What the fuck is that thing? That deep striker monstrosity. The Phoenix Gundam looks like a straight-up alien mech to them. But no one will ever...
No, we're not at Alien Mechs yet. We're not playing Cross Rays and doing the 00 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, anything with the ELS, yes.
Oh, in a series that frequently has kind of dumb stuff in its movies, one of the dumbest things in its movies.
Well, yeah, it's the only movie for 00, and it's also the only... It's telling it's the only Gundam that decided to go full, like, they're aliens. We have aliens now.
As you do.
Because only aliens could bring back the majesty that is Graham Acre.
Look, I mean, it's fine by me. Understand, the... Oh, God, yeah. That's from that weird... Oh, God, was that the stage show or something they did recently? I'm trying to remember. Like, Graham Acre has been brought back from the dead because he died in the movie with ELS stuff, I think.
No, he got revived by ELS stuff, then turned against it as part of the Hive Mind, and helped them to defeat it and turn it into a giant space flower for peace. We don't talk about the 00 movie.
Sorry
The
for
00
bothering
movie is dumb.
00, you know, again, as someone who likes 00, the movie is just... I don't hate the movie in concept. I actually kind of love that they decided to go there with Gundam and say, oh no, Yulia Shenberg's plan was to unite humanity in advance of first contact with liquid metal Terminator aliens. I'm cool with that in concept. Execution, not so much.
I mean, honestly, my biggest thing that I hate about the 00 movie is its fucking title.
Awakening.
Awakening of the Trailblazer.
Fuck you. We're
Not,
making it
not
two words.
Awakening. Awakening.
No, Awakening of the Trailblazer is a fine name for a movie, but that is not the title.
No, it's Awakening.
The Trailblazer.
You motherfuckers.
Look, man, we gotta fuck with you somehow. Something
Yes,
has to
it's
be.
Awakening. Awakening, right?
Yeah, that is a singular awakening.
There was just one of them.
Hey,
You have been
one.
allotted one awakening.
Awakening.
You better use it.
Also, again, and I gotta give some credit somewhere. Like, I enjoyed 00 for all of its stupidity. They also came up with more stupid names for people. We have
Yes.
Descartes Shaman.
There is Descartes Shaman.
Because all innovators have to have stupid names.
I have him in my play. of Cross Race.
It's good.
I mean,
it's
Descartes
Because I could not see a human being named Descartes Shaman and not be like, you're on my team.
team. I mean,
I don't
His
use
brother, Descartes Racer.
I don't use him, but I have him.
Descartes Shaman. There will never again. There are stupider names. Nothing will ever top Bring Stab.
Bring Stabity is pretty fucking dumb.
You know, Ribbons Allmark.
Although I've got to say, again,
Ribbons is somewhat okay. Revival is dumb.
The thing.
and I will say, here's the thing: it's like Bring Stabity is dumb, Revival is dumb. Let us not forget that UC has dumb names too. There is a man named Brave Cod.
Yes. The things that are stupid, though, about 00 is because they are almost names thematically. In terms of, like, I get the Innovades are supposed to be named after concepts, but
Yes.
some like, stupid person doing the romanization thought that, oh no, it can't possibly be Bring Stability, it's gotta be
Stabity, yes.
Oh, it can't be Reborn Allmark, that would make too much sense.
Yes.
It's Ribbons. Even Revival at least, like, is stupid
You know what
sounding,
my
but
favorite
follows a theme.
You know what my favorite thing about that is? The character is Ribbons Allmark. There is still Reborn's Gundam.
That's the thing. Because like,
It's
somebody translating the mobile suit knew what his name was supposed
Yes.
to be.
Someone ready for some overkill?
Oh, good lord!
Like, they say, Reborn's Gundam, like, maybe it belongs to a guy named Reborn, huh?
Nope, Ribbon.
Oh, yeah. Santiago getting that giant missile support.
Santiago's not the main attacker for this. One of the balls is.
Oh, okay. I saw him participate, though.
Oh yes, no. There's
Good on
He was supporting
there's like
the ball.
5 supporters on.
I'm
this
glad he's got a
attack.
gym, too, by the time the 1 year war rolls around. He's not pulling the opening of Zeta like, I can't hit anything in this antique gym, bro.
Fuck that ball in particular.
Here's a 7th Gundam.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that's nothing. I'm literally flying around in the heavy armed, full armored 7.
Hey, the 7th Gundam is a 1 year war contemporary, technically. Well, design-wise.
Technically.
Design.
It technically doesn't actually exist.
It's true. It doesn't exist until 2 years later. But it was designed during the 1 year war. So I'll give it that.
That ball is dead.
The ball is extremely dead.
And the Gym 2 is at least a Gym 1, but, like, what if it had a nicer cockpit?
That ball's dead, and everyone but Coronado, the person actually initiating that attack, hit.
Yes.
Every time I hear Coronado, I think of Coronander from Turning Gundam.
Who knows? Maybe that's my deep ancestor during the dark history.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you know, our stupid character names pulled from places that we live near couldn't be any worse than actual Gundam names.
You all suck, except
That was like the inverse of last time. Everybody else missed, and Coronado actually.
Everyone else
the
is
sense of
laughing
our
too
ability
hard
could
to
actually
shoot
hit.
properly.
Listen, they've been hanging around Ivan too long.
apparently.
It's possible to get the reverse of a new type flash.
Yeah.
Lose understanding of your
I think
cockpit.
I think that's called a stroke.
I can't see the internet.
So you know that thing that was done to Camille?
Yeah,
Basically. But in reverse.
What the fuck happened? You fired at like a 90-degree angle to where the dude was. I don't know. I just had a flash. All of a sudden, I was aiming the other way. I think you had a stroke.
Flash, I was getting jumps into my cockpit cars.
Oh god! I can see through time! It's stroking my mind!
Who knew? New type abilities make you taste pennies.
Look, I could see through time. I anticipated his move. The problem with the move I anticipated happened like 5 minutes from now. It was in a totally opposite direction.
New type abilities. See the future. Smell burnt toast.
In the future, we'll end this battle. I'll go to the mess hall and I knew you'd burn that toast.
You dodged a shot that was 20 years in the future.
No, the burnt toast happened. He just happened to, like, you know. He didn't win the battle, but he did save the captain's lunch.
No, the ship explodes, and just so happens that, like, a piece of toast floats by his cockpit, and he's like, the prophecy!
No, it just so happens that he discovers the ship's going to explode through a series of weird, like, things related to the burnt toast smell. There is a Rube Goldbergian problem involving a fire in the mess hall. Toast. Yeah, there's fire in the mess hall that leads to the ship sinking, and he saves it because of burnt toast smell.
Congratulations, Alaskan halibut. You're the new type that has saved our ship.
There's just a picture of Bright with a burger, and the title of this particular chapter of Gundam is For Want of a Burger. Which is actually, no, I take that back. For Want of a Burger is the Gundam AU where Bernie survives, and things go wrong because of it somehow.
Oh, you mean the novelization of...
Yes.
of 0080.
Bernie survives, and somehow it's like akin to Uncle Ben surviving, or something like that, where things suddenly go horribly wrong.
Oh, you mean where he becomes the Herald of Galactus?
Oh, yes. Bernie becomes the Herald of the ALS, or the ELS, sorry,
ELS,
not
yeah.
ALS. That's a disease. ELS. From
Londo Burger.
I mean, he even gets to look all liquid metal like the Silver Surfer. So yes, Bernie, for want of a burger, becomes the Herald of the
Hello, I am Bernie Bernstein, and some horrible things are about to happen in your timeline. Things get weird.
Look, I realize I'm the Herald of an alien force from a different timeline of Gundam entirely.
Oh no, some Salamis and Saberfish. What will we ever do?
Kick them. Ah, there's some gems, though.
Fuck, death pile of corpses, you say?
I mean, yeah, this would be a serious situation if it weren't for you guys intervening in every important event in the universe. Yeah, even these guys know.
Yeah, this Federation soldier just knows, like, aha.
I love it. I love it. Like, this propaganda campaign is already sunk. These are actual Federation, like, mobile suit pilots going like, oh, yeah, we already know you're fucked.
It's like one of those pieces of shit.
Oh. This is amazing. It was doomed from the start. Oh, what's with these guys?
Early types.
Early types.
So, that's the thing in this game. When you trigger the special events, when you do the special objectives, special enemies will show up that are...
So we've got early types instead of the standards?
No, there are also standards there as well. These,
the standards are gone.
show up.
They only
Well,
show
yeah,
up
they
for that
flash
cutscene.
out.
The types that show up after the unknown thing shows up can be like anything. They don't fit the theme of that.
Because I was thinking, like, the early types make perfect sense timeline-wise here, actually. If Gundam were a little more unified, they would have had early types here in
Yeah, but no, it's just it's like straight up. So like the last mission we were doing was when we were dealing with like the Hidalfer and stuff like that, and the unknowns that showed up were assault gun tanks.
Nice. Like the like one of the other Igloo episodes.
Yeah.
Which, in and of themselves, I'm kind of excited to see that episode just because the gun tank early type apparently kicks ass. Not the gun tank, what was that one again?
The assault gun tank.
Assault gun tank. That's sorry. The early type gun tank is cool looking, but not great.
Yeah, no, the assault gun tanks fucking rule.
No, they do. It helps that that particular episode of Igloo is told from the Federation's perspective, and they have a badass gun tank pilot crew going on. Where
Yeah.
they're like whipping around in these stupid ass high speed gun tanks.
Yes, the gun tanks that have 4 separate tracks rather than the one on either side. And,
Basically, they do a fast movie in miniature with this episode.
Yeah.
with gun tanks. Where it's like, alright, we need to do some shenanigans.
Please get away from any potential threats to you.
I mean, Saberfish and Salamis, you're being generous to call them threats.
I mean, they'd be a threat if mobile suit were never invented. Just the problem. Once you have a mobile suit, Char learned very quickly, you get kicky parts.
It doesn't have legs.
Doesn't need him. It's a spacesuit.
I don't know how to feel about that judgment call.
Did you know how I got the name the Red Comet? A lot of it involved some heavy kicking in the battle.
I do say I'm moderately upset because, like, it's very clear that they have the ability in this game to do a thing where, like, if certain pilots are in a suit, like, it will change stats and stuff like that. Like, I am upset that they don't just have it so if you field Char in any suit that has legs, you can kick things.
Yes. That's kind of become his signature move.
It's absolutely his signature move.
Enough to where his memory clone from decades later, his first instinct is to kick something.
Things, yeah.
Like, you know, Full Frontal's got a lot of problems, but he got the Char kick down. Enough just on an instinctual level go, Gundam, kick.
Yep.
Rawr.
The part of my brain that is Char, and deep in the lizardy bits, wishes to kick. I bruised my mother from the inside. Char was a very kicky baby. It's a very difficult pregnancy.
Yeah, so again, like an example there, by the way, if you notice,
Kicks out,
the
kicks the
Gelgoog we have that dude in is now a Gelgoog commander type because he is a leader.
Sure.
And so it just automatically makes it a Gelgoog commander type, even though we just had a regular Gelgoog unit.
Is there actually a difference between the two, or is it just like...
Yes, actually.
Oh.
Team on
There is a visual difference, and also if you check the actual unit itself, the like actual stats on it are slightly different, I believe. The Gelgoog might not have a difference, I don't remember, but like a lot of them that have commander type will have like an additional ability, or like the stats will be slightly different. Like they're not huge differences, but
She's Mitzville. Fire missiles.
yes, at some point we will come back through and we will grind out money and we will recruit a bunch of like actual canonical pilots and stuff and replace some of the G-Gen original characters we don't actually care about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, G-Gen, you can only come up with so many compelling characters. And usually your idea of compelling is naming one of them Blood.
Blood. Bear currently fielding blood.
Yeah. He's piloting the Zaku 2FZ.
Look, I said he was compelling because his name was Blood. He gets to stay. Literally, the only thing I can remember about Gundam X's main bad guy is his name was Lord Bloodman. It tells you about how compelling he was. Having a name like that takes you far.
Yeah, Blood just leveled up.
Look at me.
So did San Diego.
Ah, excellent.
I love how San Diego hasn't even properly applied his facial shadow.
Yeah,
He's just
you
like,
can see his eyes.
You absolutely can. That was part of why I selected that customization.
he literally just looks like, there's a paycheck, bang.
Yes. That is exactly why I chose that character. It's like, yeah, I can still see your eyes. You just look like you've basically been very poorly Jotaro-like censored.
I'm gonna check out in like 2 hours anyway. I'm just gonna cruise through the rest of the day and browse Space Reddit. I got responsibilities, but whatever.
I'll say that's partially why he's a gym pilot. He's not dedicated to excelling too much.
Man, I don't want to go into Gundam management. I just want to keep my job here.
Look, I'm just a regular 9 to 5. You won't catch me in a mobile coffin, though. I know I have some standards.
Mobile coffin?
That's what a lot of Federation pilots used to call the ball.
Yeah.
The mobile coffin. One of those.
Because, I mean, let's be real here. If you mobilized in a ball, you were like 90% sure to die.
I'm sorry, Coronado does not accept your fatalistic philosophy
maybe
of the
not
sphere of
95%,
destiny.
but the point is, if you're in a ball, you're in a mass of balls. So, like,
Yeah.
you're kind of relying on numbers. You're a gun.
Just a big mass of
It's a
balls.
ball.
It's true. It's not
Getting all up in there.
like the Tiger Shark team is kind of an exception more than a rule. Like they're the ones who honed to a science how to fight in balls, and it's
Got
gang up on
tiger
people.
by the tail. Come on, Tiger Sharks.
There's also Umon Samon from Crossbone Skullheart, but that's more.
That's an entirely different thing.
That's also very much phrased as a crazy old man telling you a bullshit tall tale.
Yes.
You see, I fought in the 1 Year War, and I killed like 3 Doms in a ball because I bolted a Gundam faceplate onto it and scared them into thinking it was a giant Gundam appearing behind an asteroid. No, I'm not lying.
Yep.
Have you heard this one?
This man is a genius.
No, seriously, look up the B Gundam sometime.
Yeah.
Spooky Fang!
No, seriously. But it's basically framed as a humorous, like, war story from years ago. It's almost certainly a tall tale, but it's pretty entertaining.
It's fantastic.
It's worse than a regular ball because the faceplate bolt-on makes it heavier.
Yep. Yes. It's a ball which was extensively modified in appearance by Umon Samon so that its appearance was similar to the head of the famous RX-78-2 Gundam. The new weapon is equipped with limited ammo. Its armor was relatively weak, and it lacked any sort of close combat weapon other than its manipulator claws. Due to the added weight and the lack of ambac, the B Gundam had even worse maneuverability than the original ball.
Gonna need great ability when you got style.
Like I said, it's absurd and probably didn't happen, but Skullheart is basically where they put a lot of those crazy side story things where it's like, could be true, might not be.
Yes,
I definitely believe new type monkeys happen, just because, dear God, I hope new type monkeys actually happen.
yes, As Umon was lost daydreaming, his B Gundam went out of control, unable to keep its balance due to the weight. However, Zeon pilots in battle thought the B Gundam was actually the Gundam's head. This line of miscommunication called the Nightmare of Solomon Annabelle Gato to leave his position, allowing Amuro Ray to slip in with the real Gundam.
It's historical fanfic, it's amazing.
When the B Gundam was spotted again, Umon had brought the machine under control and worked to maneuver around debris and ally machines so that Zeon pilots never got a good look at it, only seeing a massive Gundam head. Thus, enemy soldiers feared that it was the actual Gundam and that it was actually massive, leading Zeon mechanics to later build the MSN02 Perfect Zeon to match the Gundam's apparent enormous size.
Again, historical fanfic, like, explaining a lot of other things.
Yes. However, this ruse was destroyed when 3 Rickdoms encountered the B Gundam. Umon, in desperation, used the ball's cannon to evade the attacks in return, smashing his cannon into one of the Rickdoms and destroying it. He destroyed a second Dom by using the machine's inertia to launch a meteorite at the mobile suit, and the life of the B Gundam came to an end as Umon ejected the faceplate into the final Rickdom, destroying it. However, as the B Gundam was never approved by anyone, the higher-ups have officially stricken it from the record, making the B Gundam a phantom unit.
Again, I firmly believe it's an old man full of shit, but it's amazing anyway.
You know, I would argue that the Gundam universe is stupid enough that that's almost a perfectly viable thing to have had happen.
I just love the idea that the absurd height of the perfect Zeonic is due to that shit.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, the Gundam is like 80 meters tall. We have to make a Zeong that big, too.
Remember, the 1 Year War is predicated on a lot of decisions that are either stupid or evil.
Both?
Stevel.
I was gonna say, the 1 Year War is a perfect example of stupid evil.
And there's, of course, this dumb motherfucker right here.
What have we here?
The Great Zeong.
Looks a little like the Kshatriya. But it actually
It's like they turned the Zeong into the Kshatriya.
Which, if I recall properly, the Great Zeong actually predates the Kshatriya.
I believe so, because I think what was its first appearance?
One of the G-Gen games. Just somebody looked at that and said, huh. I mean, I guess it technically could be more like someone had the Quinn Mantha had a baby with the Zeong, which, you know, the Kshatriya is also based on the Quinn Mantha, so...
Yeah.
Or Queen Mantha, depending on what...
Depending which translation we're using at a given time. Much like the Mud Rock and the Mad Rock.
which is your preference?
Pretty much.
I was gonna say, are you a Mud Rock man or a Mad Rock man?
I mean, technically speaking, the kit I own is a Mud Rock, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, Mad Rock's an older one. What about the Quinn Mantha? That one's a little trickier.
I'm usually Quinn Mantha.
Quinn Mantha.
Not Queen Mantha. Although in reality, after that, give me a fucking suit, you cowards.
Yeah, again, it's a shame we haven't seen...
MG Quinn Mantha, you cowards.
I mean, they didn't hesitate making Neo Zeong into a kit. They could easily make even an MG Quinn Mantha and make it similar size.
Because there is an HG Quinn Mantha, it's just garbage.
I don't even think it's an HG, it's like a non-grade, like, thing, and a weird, like, what is it, like 1 to 220 or some shit? Like,
It's garbage, is what I'm pretty sure it's actually an HG, but it's terrible.
I don't think so. There is an HG of the Psycho Gundam, which is actually pretty good for its age. So if you wanted a big-ass suit, you could always get the HG Psycho Gundam. Yeah. They reprinted it not too long ago.
The best thing you can get for the Quinn Mantha is literally a, like, candy ball.
Yeah. Garbage. Yeah, I believe there was a weird, like, non-HG line of mobile armor kits, which were at a weird scale that I think the Quinn Mantha's part of, because I remember there was a Noya Seal as well from that same line, and I think an Alpha Zero as well. In fact, bastards could make an Alpha Zero at this point and not break a sweat, because the Alpha Zero is basically like the Neo Zeong, but less. Less Neo Zeong-y.
Neo Zeong, but tone it down a bit.
Piloted by one of the worst people.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, if your character has Pariah as their last name, that's kind of on the nose. Is Kess's last name, technically.
Cass is a treasure. A shitty treasure, but a treasure nonetheless.
Kess, high-pitched raptor scream here.
Look, Char seemed to think so. Just in the sense of, like, I can really use this girl. This is an unsettling arc for my character.
This isn't the worst thing I've ever done.
Checking timelines, Great Zeong was from G Generation Spirits, which was 2007, so it predates the Kshatriya by like 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely then. It just happens to look a little like it by chance.
I mean, what it probably is they were probably just both influenced by the Quinn Mantha, but
Yes.
like the designs of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Semi Striker, which only has the twin beams view.
Yep.
To me, it seems like the Quinn Mantha was basically like Axis looking at the Psycho Gundam and getting, like, jealous. Like, we can have a scary giant suit, too.
Well, it's really just...
Yeah, I mean, the Federation has this, like, 30-meter tall Gundam.
Can we also have it piloted by a, like, mentally unstable cyber new type? Yes. Yes, we can. Is ours actively evil like the Psycho Gundam? Questionable. It doesn't seem to be entirely powered by evil.
I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. What's our stance today?
I mean, the Psycho
How
Gundam
evil are we being today?
The Psycho Gundam appears to be actively evil, just in the way it behaves autonomously.
For the soul of an unborn child.
Not a whole one.
Look, you have it piloted by a child. You're going to take away her name and give her a number. How much evil can we pack into this thing? Make it black? Yeah, make it black, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Stomp all over Hong Kong, sure.
I was about to say, make it. Since it's stopping all over Hong Kong, make it turn into a giant Chinese takeout box.
Yeah, just covered in beam weapons, scatter everywhere.
Mura saw me for, Mura saw me for. They've taken away your
No, that's right, I'm giving you a number, that's right. God damn it.
and taken away your name.
So anyway, yeah, this fight's still going.
Yeah.
It's kind of a slog.
It kind of drags on a little bit just because there's just a lot of units and like we're powerful, but we're not quite so powerful that like most of our units can like one-shot balls at this point.
And I'm also explicitly not fielding like the deep strike. Or
Yeah, so stuff that doesn't
armor
need levels,
that would
basically.
just walk through whatever goes in front of them. At one point, I tried to get the deep striker out because I wanted to do energize, but I forgot I didn't change stuff around. So
Yeah, we
that's
didn't have
energize.
these.
And then I was trying to get in a position where I could do the map attack to kill like 3 balls at once, but more of an amusement than an actual necessity.
Balls. 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 Guys, we're running dangerously low on balls jokes.
Balls.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you can be dangerously low on balls jokes. Like at all.
Balls.
Bear jokes on the other hand.
Rusty. Yes. Another damage for this.
Nope.
Let's go.
Take this, Salamis.
Sir, one of our balls is coming back. That's not one of our balls! Pew, pew.
The ball is the future of warfare.
Critical. Critical. Super critical. Bye, Salamis.
Right, that's far more effective than the ball should ever be.
That was 2 balls and a gem. Thank you very much.
I mean, also, it's a Type K, so it's not, like, the shittiest of balls.
move on. Also energy. One single Salamis, what you got for us? Yeah.
Try and go for the kill on the Oggo.
Yep. So that energy for it first.
Energy charge.
Charge.
EXP boost it.
I'm actually gonna. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to do AXP and
AP and XP, yeah.
Stop that. Boost. Walk onto the tree hit. I don't have any of the attack boost, so. Fire the anti-ship rockets.
Getting closer to another unit we don't actually care about. But
Which unit?
Big Rang.
Ah, the big rang. What, you don't enjoy the big rang? In the various big suits?
Mobile suit, fire mobile suit.
I see that you have a Zakrella, though.
Yeah.
Good on you. Gotta give some love to the ugliest mobile armor.
I mean, in fairness, we mostly have it as a joke. We give it to the guy who barely has double digits in his stats.
Even these gyms are blowing up trying to keep up with him. fastest thing alive.
I'm a phantom race of justice in steel machine of death.
No longer just a ghost fighter. I, however, will soon be a ghost.
And then, rather than cutting his engine, he keeps on full thrust.
Not sure why.
There was no going back at that point anyway.
Now I have to explode or I look like an ass.
Can't say something cool like that the next day be like, walk in the office. Oh, guys.
Didn't you explode?
No,
Nah.
it's good.
I don't want to explode.
Man, Duvall's always saying he's gonna explode.
Ghost fighters.
Makes some kind of a don't stop me now crack at him. They did in fact make a supersonic man out of him.
Supersonic man out of you.
Whoa, 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 explode! Burning through the sky! Oh shit.
Well,
You
yeah,
actually
in the
are.
atmosphere.
That's what they call him. Mr. Fahrenheit.
Coronado.
The
Call me Silver Medal Coronado.
all of that kills I got on him, and it got a 1 level. It's a good.
Yeah.
Don't pick your own ace name. Otherwise you'll forever end up like Johnny Ritten, just complaining about how people mess it up.
Alright, and with that, we're going to call it a day here. Thank you all for joining us again for another Sunday afternoon robot fighting stream. We'll be back. Is the new thing out for Fire Emblem 4 Houses yet?
No, not till after the 13th.
Okay, so may or may not be back on Tuesday if they find something they want to fill in with. Should be back on Saturday.
Saturday, yes.
For more awful JRPGs. And then we'll be back again next Sunday to continue with Xeon idiocy and engineering.
The previous one wasn't awful. The next one is, but the,
The
previous
next
one
one's
wasn't.
gonna be.
Once again, I've been Bog Rider Josh.
I've been Shiv.
And before I exploded in the Zuda accident, I was the Krampus.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.